Good evening, everyone, and welcome to ATP Live Monday. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Bimi Salaboide, and I'm your uncle for today. So thank you so much for joining us. Um, and we just finished celebrating our anniversary, so we're still in the anniversary mode. Okay, so thank you to all our ATP volunteers who showed up yesterday for all in the various states who had their get together and party. So congratulations. All right, so welcome to ATP Live Monday. This program is brought to you by the Pediatricians Foundation, and we are here to support you, answer any questions you may have about the health of your children. So thank you for joining us from whichever platform you're watching from. So the first thing I'm going to do is to also share the video so that people will know we're live. So also join us to share the video. I'm just trying to share the video now. I'm looking for my video. Okay. Okay, I hope we're live on Facebook. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to share the video to our groups and pin the videos as well. All right, so thank you. So those who have joined us already. Okay, and then let me see if I can pin it as well. Okay. Welcome. Those join us on Instagram, you're welcome as well. Okay, so I'm just trying to share the video first, and then we can start to answer our questions. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to just pin the videos in our groups. Okay. All right, I think I'm done with all the sharing and all the pinning, and I guess everybody should be able to see me. So let me once again welcome all of us to Ask the Pediatrician Live Monday. This program is brought to you by Ask the Pediatricians Foundation. Ask the Pediatricians Foundation is a non-profit organization that is committed to the health and to the welfare of all children globally, especially in Nigeria, where a lot of our children are still dying from preventable causes. And we do that through our online health education platform and our offline platform as well. So this ATP Live is one of our programs where we get to where you can ask any questions you may have about the health of your children and get immediate answers live from a pediatrician in 1 hour. But remember that after the live session, if you still have any questions about the health of your children, you can always post on our Ask the Pediatricians Facebook group. For children health issues and for the adult health issues, we have the ATP family Facebook group as well. So thank you to every one of you who are joining us. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop your questions. Remember to start with the age of the child and then provide a short summary of your concerns about the child, and then we'll try and answer them as soon as we can. If you are asking questions from YouTube or from Instagram or from the Facebook page, you can just drop your questions straight under the video and I'll be able to say it here and I'll be able to answer it. But if you are asking your questions from the um our Facebook group, because the Facebook group, we are not live. What we shared in the Facebook group um is our um the one from the page. So you have to click on the video itself, and when you click on the video itself, then you'll be able to ask your questions. So I hope that is okay. I'm just going to change my background. All right, so I'm here now. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have about the health of your children, and then we'll try and answer them. All right, thank you to those of you who are joining us. And I'm just going to go to the comment section and see whether I have any questions on Instagram. I can't see any questions yet. So I'll wait for you to drop your questions. So while I'm waiting, I will just talk a little bit more. And also just to let you also know that we are currently recruiting volunteers for Ask the Pediatrician. So if you want to volunteer for us, and you can volunteer online, you can volunteer offline, feel free to drop your questions. All right, Ifama, welcome. It's our 11th anniversary. I know the banner said 10th anniversary. Okay, maybe I should change my background again. That was our logo that we used for the 11th 10th anniversary, but we actually just celebrated the 11th anniversary. So thank you so much all the same for joining us. Okay, I think I should use this one. Okay, for my background. Okay. All right. So thank you so much. Welcome. I hope your kids are doing well. Actually, the one that was limping. I hope he has recovered fully now. Just let me know. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, I still don't have any question yet. So I was just talking about our. Let me share the link for those who want to volunteer. Uh, our application form. Yeah, okay, I found the form for application. Let me just see if I can get the link. Okay. I'm just trying to get the link for the application form so that those who want to volunteer, though if you check on our Facebook groups, you should be able to see the links. I think we've shared it far and wide. You also send us a WhatsApp message. We should be able to share it with you. Where's the form? Where's Google Forms? I'm looking for Google Forms. Google Doc. it's not going to the comment. Anyway, hopefully I'll, okay, let me go to our Facebook and I'll be able to copy the link from one of the Facebook page as well. So that will be okay. Yeah, I think I've seen where I'm looking for. Okay, good. So we're happy for anyone who wants to join to just feel free um, to 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 fill our form and we'll get back to you. I think I've been able to share it. All right, so Instagram. Okay, yeah, we have a question from Instagram. Okay, let me also share the link for those on Instagrams as well. Shibu Enyim. Okay, say hello doc. I'm a nursing mom that wants to stop breastfeeding. Okay. I have stopped for close to 2 weeks now, but I'm expressing so much pain. 2 weeks and you're still having pain. Okay, that's very unusual. Actually, we were tempted to start breastfeeding again, but just I didn't know if it is right. I don't think that's right, of course. Again, I try extracting the milk. It is yellowy, different from regular milk. So you should actually not be extracting the milk, because when you try extract the milk or when you press the milk out, I hope that's not what you've been doing, because if you've been doing that, it's as if you have not stopped breastfeeding, because your the way breastfeeding works. Next week, okay, that reminds me, I should tell us, next week is World Breastfeeding Week, 1st of August to the 7th of August every year is our breastfeeding week. So we're going to talk more about breastfeeding next week. So watch out for that. And definitely we will talk about weaning as well. So just to remind you that the whenever you press your breast, your the message the brain gets is that we still need to produce more breast milk, so it will keep on producing more milk. So I wonder whether maybe that is what was happening to you. So you should not be pressing the breast at all. You should wear firm breast so that it will hold the breast tight. You can put some warm compress, like if you put the towel in hot water and squeeze it out, you can press on it. It will press out the make a bed. It will give you some relief. Or some people use ice compress as well, the same thing, just to relieve the pressure and the pain. You can take paracetamol, you can take most of the painkillers. Some people, there are also some medication that doctors can give to dry up the breast milk, but we try not to do medication because of the side effect, but you can actually do that as well. But usually within 2-3 days, if you are not breastfeeding and you're not pressing out the milk, it should start to dry up. And the pressure, of course, will be heavy for the first 2-3 days, but after that it should go down, because you will not be lactating, and that should go. So don't put the baby back to the breast, okay? And don't unless you still want to continue to breastfeed, because you say your babies are 15 months old. Actually 15 months old for us, we still want to encourage you to breastfeed. We usually recommend you breastfeed up to 2 years. Yeah, I know some others don't want to do that for all any reason, so I'm not going to pressure you. So but if you are stopping, you have to stop. Cold turkey, you stop completely. Don't be pressing the breast, don't be massaging it, don't be doing all that. And sometimes some moms are also allowing their husband to also, suck on the breast and all that, and that also is also as same as if you are just still breastfeeding. So you may want to also stop if you are doing that. So that, I'm not saying you are doing that, but anything that will kind of stimulate the breast, you want to stop it, so that you just focus on just getting the breast to dry up, since you decided you were going to stop. So that is absolutely fine. So but if you're really still struggling, you can see your doctor. They can give you some lasers or some there are some other drugs, bromocriptine, that we can use to kind of dry up the breast faster. But usually for most people, you won't need all that. Just wearing your fan bra, making sure you are not pressing the breast or extracting the milk. Just use warm compress or cold compress, and then just leave it like that and take painkillers. You will have pain, yes, for the first 2 days, but after that it should be fine and the breast should dry up. Okay, so Chibu Enyim, if you are there and you got that, let me know. And if you want to read more, we actually have an article on our website, simple tips for winning or something like that, simple winning, something like that. I'll recommend you go to our website, www.askthepaediatricians.com, and then you can read. You just type winning. If you type winning into the search button, and then it will give you. Let me just type our website information for you on WhatsApp. I mean on Instagram. If you go to our website, then you just type winning into the search button. It will bring up that article for you, and you can read about it, and you will know more tips about winning. But usually 2 weeks by now, you should be getting over it. All right. I hope that's helpful. Just let me know you got the answer to that question. All right, coming back to Facebook. Ifama is still here. I said, well, his leg is fine now. Okay, I'm so happy to hear that. So most likely, I think it's a pain. It was from the pain rather than from a nerve damage. So I'm happy about that, and I've learned my lesson. Yeah, we all learn every day. We all learn. So no, don't beat yourself up about it. Either drugs or my child is admitted. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. I'm just happy that the child is fine. That's the most important thing. All right. Folashade Akiala, thank you. Good day to you. Say my 8 months baby is always hard. Okay, you mean the baby's stool? Is it the stools is hard? I guess that's what you want to say, but one word is missing. She strains every time she wants to pull. She's taking pap, yellow corn, millet. I don't know whether you've asked this question before. This is a new one, or maybe the question is just so popular because I get this question quite a lot. Can I add a little sugar to a pap? Yes, you can add sugar to a pap. There's nothing wrong with that. And she's reacting to the peanut butter. Don't add peanut butter. Some children are allergic to granola. They're allergic to all those things. So don't give them. If the child is reacting to it, just stop it. Okay, that is as simple as that. Some children have what we call food allergies. Some children are allergic to especially nuts. Nuts is very common for children to react to them, and some children can have very severe reaction, what we call anaphylactic reaction to some of these food items. So which is why we always don't recommend giving your children all these mixed cereals, all those Tom Brown and the family of them, where they've mixed so many things together. Because if your child is allergic to one of the components, you're not going to know. So we always recommend when you are starting complementary foods, you give one food at a time. If you've given the food and the child did not react, then you can now mix. If you've given one, the child didn't react, you've given the second one, the child didn't react, that's when you can now start to mix them together. Children can react to milk, they can react to eggs, they can react to fish, they can react to virtually anything. So it's very important, and once you pick up the child is allergic to any particular thing, you should stop it. You may want to cross-check it with your doctors and all that, but you should first stop it. And there are other ways by which we can confirm the allergy and all that, but once you realize the child is allergic to something, don't give it. Okay. And for your baby who is having constipation, I think I didn't see you talking about vegetables. I didn't see you talking about fruits in the things you give to your child. Those are the things you want to give to this child. Make sure your child is drinking water. Okay, make sure the child is still breastfeeding, because breastfeeding is also very good. And make sure you add veggies to the child's food. Everything should not just be pap and millets, and no, you should add veggies. Okay, and give your child variety of food. So like for example, you can, if you're giving your child like the local swallow, like a mala or semo and all those ones, you can cook like a weju, because I know you're Yoruba, so I'm giving you things in our language that you understand. Even okra, children can eat it. You don't need to put pepper, all those things. Pepper is not having like calories or anything, but give the children, you can put like crayfish inside it. You can put like Titus fish, you can shred like the meat or the chicken and put it inside. Let the child eat it, even drink it, and most children love it. Okay, and and you can put a little bit of salt inside it so it will have taste. Don't give your child tasteless food. Okay, so we have a lot of resources on complementary feeding which you can read, but the impression I'm getting is that your child is having constipation, and that constipation is because this child is feeding mostly on cereals and milk. So you need to give all the food. You need to give vegetables, you need to give fruits. Let the child eat banana. From this age now, you can cut it into tiny pieces and it's sweet. And children like those kind of things. You can squeeze out your watermelon, you can give the child to drink. You can juice your orange, you can give the child to drink. So there are many things you can give the child in between the main meals, and they can have those ones even as snacks, and to help them in terms of their digestive system, and that will prevent them from having constipation, and also let the child drink water as well. So I hope that is helpful, and that will reduce the constipation. But if the child is already constipated, sometimes we have to treat the constipation itself. We have to give laxatives to allow the stool to come out. So if you go to your pharmacy, they can always write one for you. Most of them are over the counter. So to hopefully let the child pass out the stool, but more than just treating the constipation, in terms of prevention, so things like giving fruits, vegetable, food rich in fiber, water, making sure the child is still breastfeeding, that will help to prevent future episodes of constipation. I hope that is helpful. All right. Shibu, okay, I'm coming back to Instagram. Shibu, you said you've got seen I didn't get too well. I was struggling with the network. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So just to summarize, I was just saying that if you go on our website, there's an article on winning, simple tips for winning. I recommend you read that first. And more importantly, wear firm bras, take painkillers, don't breastfeed the child, don't press out your breasts, because you mentioned you are doing that. That is actually, it's just as if you're still breastfeeding. And I'll put in the link if you want to join to volunteer for us. I'll put in the link, or just look through the message, the comment section. I'll put the link. You can click on the link, fill the form, and we'll get back to you. Okay. I hope you can try that again. But in terms of the winning, it should be stopping. I mean, 2 days, 3 days is enough. Just make sure you are not still pressing out the breast or breastfeeding and all that. You can put, like when I say hot compress, you can put your towel in like hot warm water, not too hot, like boiling hot, just enough hot water, squeeze it out and just put it on the breast. That will make some of the milk to come out, but you are not pressing it, and that will give you a little bit of relief. Then you take painkillers, you wear your firm bras, and that's it. Usually your breast should dry up within a couple of days, as long as you are not giving the brain the message that you should still be producing breast milk. It should dry up. So I hope you got me this time around, but if not, you can rewatch the video at the end and hopefully you can get that message. All right. Ifama is asking, what can cause a pulse to break out on my baby's scalp after braiding? Yeah, that happens a lot. So most children, when they have the braiding, they sometimes they tend to have what we call like a bacterial infection, and then it's an infection. It's a skin infection. Most of the time, bacteria. Most of the time, is from what we call the bacterium called Staph aureus, and usually it's from the hands of the person who is braiding the hair. Most of us have these germs in our hands, and most people, I don't think, when I was growing up, I don't think I ever went to an hairdresser who washed their hands. The closest they come to across is when they are washing your hair. So if they wash your hair, but otherwise most of them, before they start braiding the hair, they don't wash their hands. So, and they're touching this, they're touching that, they're doing all that. So most of those things, they're germs in their hands. Sometimes some people also make the hair very tight. Some of our babies have very soft scalp. So if the hair is too tight, they're pulling on the hair roots. That can also predispose it to getting infections as well. But more importantly, it's actually from the hands and from the items they use. Most of those brush and combs and all that, they need to be washed, even if not sterilized, at least washed and dried properly. And more importantly, our hair, the people making the hairstylists, they need to wash their hands in between making hair. And so those are the things that, that's how they tend to introduce the charms into the scalp, and that is why some of our children have the boil. So it's paying attention to that. And if it's somebody else doing it outside your home, make sure your child goes with their own stuff, and make sure you are watching it and all that. But if the boys are there already, if it's one or two, most of the time, if you just clean it with antiseptic and all that, that will be all. But if it's plenty, most of the time the children will need antibiotics to clear the infection. But from my experience, most of the time, it's not only when the hair is tight, sometimes it's just from the hands of the people touching their hands, their combs, all those things. Are lots of germs carrying everywhere, and it is easy when there's a little bit of scratch, the germs get introduced, and then the child is going to have the ball. So you just ensure that they wash their hands, you wash all the stuff you use for your baby's hair, and that's it. It'll be fine. Okay, I think the same question you asked twice. So okay, I've answered them now. All right. So and wash. Okay, Chibonyi, you've gotten the question. So hand washing is very important. Even we ourselves, even apart from the hairstylists, even we mothers, some of our young babies at home, we really need to remember to wash our hands, because our hands carry lots of these germs, and most of the time they don't cause us any harm as individuals, but when we touch things, we're passing it on, and it can easily cause that the germs to get inoculated and start multiplying, and that is what normally causes the hair infection. And also washing the children's hair as well, we should wash it properly, wash it yourself, use shampoos, not bath soaps. Some of us use bath soaps. The truth is that some of those bath soaps themselves, they can become contaminated with bacteria and all that. So when you use them again, you're actually just using bacteria to wash your hair. So we prefer liquid soap, because liquid soap, you can close them properly and all that. So liquid soap is usually much better than bath soaps, and so we recommend that we use liquid soap to wash the children's hair, and we recommend that we pay attention to hand washing as well. Okay. Charity, good evening. Happy anniversary to us, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy anniversary. God bless you for all you do. God bless you too. God bless all our volunteers as well. We're trying to restructure how we work in ATP. So please, we welcome new volunteers. Everybody can volunteer, even if you are not in Nigeria, even if you are not a doctor, even if you are not a medical personnel, you are welcome to volunteer for Ask the Pediatricians. There is something you can do. And of course, we also welcome donations. If you want to donate, you want to support us, you want to sponsor on our program like this ATP Live, you want to advertise your products, you want to sponsor a segment, you want us to promote, of course, we only promote something that is what do you call it, that is ethical, but you can always reach out. So just send us an email, askthepediatricians.com, or reach out askthepediatricians@gmail.com, or reach us on our WhatsApp number, or reach us on any of our platform DM. Just send us a message somewhere, it will get to us, and then we can always respond to that. So I really, really appreciate every one of us. So just to remind us, next month is August, so this is the last Monday of July, and that's amazing. The year is running so close. We are going to the 8th month, which is starting on Saturday, and so next Saturday we'll start our breastfeeding week. And so next week, Monday, is going to be all about breastfeeding. Every week, one week a year, that is the 1st of August to the 7th of August. Every year we devote it to breastfeeding. It's a time for us to promote breastfeeding breastfeeding, to talk about breastfeeding, because breastfeeding is a child support strategy. People used to wonder, why are pediatricians talking so much about breastfeeding? Why is ATP so passionate about breastfeeding? In fact, people sometimes attack us for talking too much about breastfeeding, because sometimes some people feel like we're trying to make them feel uncomfortable, those who are not exclusive breastfeeding. That's not the idea. The idea is because breastfeeding, we know, is something that can save life. It's one of our child support strategies. So anything that can promote life, anything that can save life, we definitely are going to talk about it. So next week, Monday, I'm going to talk more about breastfeeding. We also have our breastfeeding quiz and the usual, all the things that go on about breastfeeding. So feel free to join us next week, Monday. And if you have any question about breastfeeding, come along with it and we'll answer it. So next week is breastfeeding week. So I'm giving you advance notice now so that you can prepare for that. But I still have half an hour left to answer and to address any questions that you may have about the health of your children. And just to remember that ATP, we are located in all the states of Nigeria. So if you're in any particular state and you want to be identified with the local ATP in that state, you want to join them for outreaches, feel free to also reach out to us and we will link you with the leadership in the states and then how you can volunteer. So we look forward to that. And just to let you remember all our social media platforms, please follow us. We have our website www.askthepediatricians.com. Our WhatsApp number you can see behind me. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on we've actually joined TikTok, even though I've not been very active there. We also have a podcast where you can listen and watch some of our videos. We also have a YouTube channel. All our videos are there. You can watch them, you can learn from them. And we also have our WhatsApp platforms for our volunteers for in each of the various states of the country. So feel free to be part of us, feel free to join us in reaching more children in Nigeria. We are committed to the health and to the welfare of all children globally and especially in Africa, and starting from home in Nigeria, where a lot of our children are still dying from preventable causes. I just saw a news just before I came out that we have 5 million children are being born every year. 5 million children are being born every year in Nigeria. Just 1 year, 5 million children. That's quite a lot. But the painful part of it is that 1 million of those children may not reach their fifth birthday, because a lot of them would have died. And this is something that we don't like. In some other countries, if one child die in a year, is a big deal. So not talk of 1 million children die. So that is quite a lot. I think we have the highest, so I've not checked the recent figures, but last time I checked, Nigeria, we have the highest number of child deaths in the entire world. And this is in place, including all the parts of the world where people are fighting, where we have wars, where we have famines, where we have all those outbreaks. And yet Nigeria, even though we are not at war, or any, at least we don't have war, we still have higher number of our children dying compared to those countries like where's it, Sudan and all those other places where they've been having wars and all that. That is really, really a painful and a very sad statistics that we need to do something about, and it's something we all have to do something about. And that is actually why Ask the Pediatrician exists. We really want that statistics to drop down. We want no child should be dying from something that we can treat, from something that we can prevent, for something that we can manage. That is what we do on ATP. So feel free to join us in supporting us. And if you have any questions after the live session is over, the live session is just for 1 hour. If you have any question, remember that our Facebook groups are open Mondays to Saturdays. We are always open Monday to Saturday. Feel free to ask questions. I know some of you don't even bother asking those questions now because you are very you know how to find your way around all the platform, which is absolutely fine. So people just know how to search their questions, get their answers, and they are good. But some people are new, so they are not yet sure. Yes, feel free to drop your questions and we'll be able to answer you. You can also ask questions on our website, and then we will also answer. It's just that the fastest place to ask questions and get answers are the Facebook groups. Our live session is just once a week and just for 1 hour. And I'm actually been wondering whether we should even scrap the live session and just do teachings, because I realized maybe because of data and all that, maybe many people don't join online unlike before. So which we are very very aware and we understand. So but we'll still look at that. For now we'll still continue, but maybe I'll give an update very soon whether we will just let you post your questions to us and we can answer them live, and then you can just watch them so you don't have to join live, because I know live streaming also costs you data and all that. But that is something we're thinking about compared to what it was like before. All right, so I'm still here to 6 p.m. If you have any questions, feel free to ask any question you have. I can't see any question, and I hope people are not posting their question on the Facebook group, because if you're on the Facebook group, you need to click on the video to drop your questions, because if you don't click on the video to drop your question, I will not see it in my yeah, but I will just search on the Facebook group just in case anyone is dropping the question on the Facebook group. Okay, I'm just checking that people are not dropping questions on the Facebook group. Okay, no, nobody is dropping questions there. So I guess many people are not yet online, which is fine. Next, we will talk about about breastfeeding, and hopefully, and later on in November, we'll do our prematurity week, pneumonia week, and all that. So just watch out. We try to have a week where we promote some of these um, issues that have to do with the health of our children. So next week is breastfeeding week. And remember that ATP, we also advocate for breastfeeding for 6 months, for parents, for mothers to have 6 months maternity leave so that they can exclusively breastfeed. Because I know a lot of mothers actually want to breastfeed, but a lot of mothers have to go to work, and economy is not easy, so both mom and dad have to work, and some of the workplaces which often don't have crashes for the mothers. We don't have, where mothers can keep their babies and go to work and come out and breastfeed. So because of that, we found out that the best option is for the government to actually just give our mothers 6 months maternity leave, let them stay home and breastfeed for 6 months. It is not just for them or their own child. It's actually for all of us as a country when our mother practices exclusive breastfeeding. Because, like I told us, 1 million children are dying in Nigeria before their fifth birthday. And we found out that if all mothers exclusive breastfeed, almost 800,000 of those children will not die. I'm telling you, it's as you can imagine, just breastfeeding alone will save 800,000 children. So that's why the government should invest and make sure that if we let the mothers stay at home, collect salary, and breastfeed their babies, they are saving the government, they are saving the whole country our child mortality statistics are going to go down. So we'll talk more about that. But we've been petitioning. I think we started our petition when President Buhari was there, and we are thankful to all those ones that have been successful. So like Lagos State, Lagos State, I think Ekiti State, Kaduna, and a couple of other states have actually implemented that. So if you are a civil servant in those states and you have a baby, you are allowed to stay 6 months at home to breastfeed your baby. So that's amazing. But for some states, we still are not yet there. So we are looking forward to the time where it will be all the states in Nigeria. Giving our working mothers 6 months maternity leave to be able to do exclusive breastfeeding, and we're looking forward to that, but we're not yet there. So we'll continue our advocacy, and we have a change.org petition that is running and it's still live. We have not taken it down, so we're going to encourage you to kind of help us by signing the petition as well to get President Tinubu to make it something federal, kind of. To for it to become a global thing for all our national thing, rather not global but national, for all our mothers, honest, to have 6 months of maternity leave minimum. In some countries, they give 1 year. They have 6 months of maternity leave to breastfeed their babies exclusively. So that will help our babies not to die but to live. So breastfeeding is very important in keeping our children alive. So we are going to do a lot more talk about breastfeeding next week, breastfeeding week, 1st of August to the 7th of August 2026. Also, immunization. We've also been talking about immunization. So let's encourage our children to take the immunization. These days, we should not be forgetting, because all of us have smartphones, and I think there are a lot of apps that can send us reminders. So before, it used to be that mothers tend to forget, so we go for the birth, the 6 weeks, the 10 weeks, the 14 weeks. Then because there's a little bit of a gap before the one for 6 months, which is vitamin A, and then the 9 months one, most mothers sometimes are forgotten. So, but nowadays we have smartphones, we have reminders that will send us a text message or give us an alert to say our child's immunization is due. So let's go for immunization. Immunization is our way of protecting children against deadly diseases. And now we're actually introducing malaria vaccine. So malaria vaccine is already being rolled out. It's being given in some states. So hopefully very soon we will have a malaria vaccine. When I started ATP 11 years ago, there are so many vaccines we have now that we didn't have then. We didn't have Rota. We didn't even have PCV, that is pneumococcal vaccine. We didn't have PHPV and all that. We didn't have any of those vaccines. I remember then people have to pay for Prevena. Prevena is the pneumococcal vaccine, and they were paying, is it 20,000 naira? I remember when Rota started as well, people have to pay for it. But now, with all our advocacy and the Nigerian government listening, Rota is now part of our routine immunization. Pneumococcal vaccine is now part of our routine immunization. Even we didn't have meningitis vaccine then as well. So 11 years now we have meningitis. So kudos to the government. We also now have the human papilloma virus vaccine. So the government has really, really tried, and I think they've also introduced the measles and rubella vaccine, MR vaccine, which will hopefully replace our just single measles. We're hopefully going to go MMR very soon, but at least we now have MR. So the government has made so much effort to add more vaccine to our national program on immunization. So all that is required from us, we the parents, it's just to go and take this vaccine. And yet some of us still don't take it. Our immunization coverage, immunization uptake rate is very, very low, in many of the states of the country. And I know there are lots of misinformation, especially now that we have social media, a lot of misinformation about immunization, sterilizing people, or immunization, causing, like, I don't know, all sorts of misinformation which are not right. Some say, oh, this vaccine can cause autism and all those informations are not correct. So immunization protect our children. A lot of our children are working today. When I was growing up, I do have friends in my class who had polio, and they need to use a walking stick and all that. But these days, a lot of our children don't even know what they meant by polio. We've almost succeeded in kicking polio out of Nigeria and, in fact, out of the world. So we are almost getting to the end of polio. Whereas before, a lot of children will not be able to walk because they have paralytic polio. So that is one of the advantage of vaccine. So vaccine protect our children quite a lot. There's no reason why our children should be having measles, should be having all these deadly diseases, tuberculosis, and all that, when we can prevent those diseases by immunization. And immunization is free. The government, it's free to you, but it's not completely free. The government is paying thousands and millions of dollars for this vaccine. So the minimum we can do as mothers, as stakeholders, is to just take our children for this immunization. And we all have health centers. Most places within 30 minutes of walking, you will get to an health center. So it is not difficult. Health centers are close by. You don't have to go to private hospitals. You don't have to pay so much for immunization. Just go to your health center. It is free, and get immunization, and you'll be protecting your children. So breastfeeding, immunization, very, very important. And then, of course, health education, is very key. And that is what we do in ATP. All these things we're doing, it is part of child support strategies, health education, giving people right information, because if there's no information, people will do the wrong thing, and then that may lead to death of our children. So one of the child support strategies that we have employed a lot on ATP is health education, and we have loads of information on we've been there for 11 years, so there is hardly any question you're going to ask us that we've not answered before. So go to make use, and most of us these days we have smartphones, so we can always check. You can always check information. We now have AI. Of course, you have to be careful with AI, but you can always verify information from the pediatrician. So you can go to our groups, ask your question. You can read on our website. You can check on our podcast. You can check on our YouTube channel. We have loads of resources. We have videos on breastfeeding, videos on complementary feeding, immunization, and all that. So please avail yourself of all these resources. You can learn, and always, I was very happy when we were getting lots of feedback last week as part of our anniversary. A lot of mothers who have been engaging with us. Some of them, the babies are bearing the same age as ATP. So some of them had the baby and then they joined ATP 11 years ago. And babies are now also 11 years old, and the children are doing well, and they've learned so much. And some people made mistake with their first baby, but their second baby, when they joined, they've learned so much. So that tells me the power of health education. Health education is a child survival strategy. Whenever I remember babies, there was a baby that was posted on our Facebook group by his mom. That baby was weighing 4 kilos at 1 year. That is almost like being a newborn at the age of 1 year. The child was very ill, and we were able to support the baby, and the child was treated. And a couple of months later, the child was weighing 8 kilos. The child has done so well. And that is the benefit of, a mom just using a platform like ATP, engage with the pediatrician, and we're able to, save that baby. I remember our outreaches in Makoko. We've done outreaches in most parts of the country, and it's always amazing the kind of children we meet. When we went to Mansha local government, these children were on the floor and, learning, and we were able to, help them. So these are some of the things that we've done, and we are so, so grateful. So health education is important, and we should keep on doing that as well. So yeah, so make sure you're learning from ATP as well. All right, I think I'm going to sign off. I don't have any more questions, and then I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.